How did Jackson Dart go from no Power 5 offers his senior year to becoming one of the best quarterbacks in college football? Jackson Dart grew up in Kaysville, Utah, an athletic family. His dad played college football at the University of Utah as a safety. Dart grew up playing both football and baseball, and in football, his father wanted to play safety like he did. Dart did, but he also had the best arm growing up, so he was playing both sides as the quarterback as well. By junior high, Dart decided quarterback would be his position, and he went all in. He attended Roy High School to continue that path. In his freshman year, he beat out his senior that transferred in, expecting to start. Dart was a 3-year starter at Roy before deciding to transfer to Corner Canyon for his senior year. At the time, all he had was a gray shirt from BYU, and thought he might actually have to play college baseball because football wasn't going to work out, a sport he went all-state in twice. Dart knew he needed to step up his game that summer before his senior year. He only had one chance left. He worked with trainer Taylor Kelly at the 3D Quarterback Academy. This allowed him to train alongside top recruits, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and Miller Moss. Him and his trainer both saw he could compete with these top prospects, and he felt like he finally belonged. Several factors worked in his favor going into that senior year. Corner Canyon ran a much more pass-heavy offense, giving Dart a lot more chances. And the pandemic was shutting down many high school football seasons. The state of Utah started early. Dart would get a full season, with even more eyes on him. ESPN even televised one of his high school games. Dart threw for 275 yards, 6 touchdowns, and ran for another 130 yards. He was no longer flying under the radar. He became a big name fast. By September, he was receiving Power 5 offers. By mid-October, he was a 4-star and a top 25 recruit. In December, he committed to play at USC. Even without the pandemic or a more pass-heavy offense, I still believe the jump Dart made that summer would have led him to playing somewhere D1. His stats were ridiculous. He finished that year with over 4,600 passing yards, 67 passing touchdowns, 14-0 record, rushed for another 1,195, and 12 touchdowns on the ground. He won Gatorade Player of the Year and Max Preps Player of the Year. He had an unbelievable season. And even though he was confident in his decision to go to USC, it was by far not easy. He couldn't visit schools due to the traveling restrictions. He was trying to finish classes early to enroll early. And USC, like many other schools, already had so many QBs committed because it was so late in the process. At the time, they had Miller Moss and Jake Garcia. Dart wasn't afraid of competition and based his decision off his connection with head coach Clay Helton. Dart's start at USC was promising. He won the backup job after a strong camp. However, USC was struggling and Helton was fired early in the season. The next game, the starter was injured and Dart got his first chance to play, and by far did not start as he would have expected. His first 3 drives, a pick, a punt, and a fumble. He quickly rebounded, finishing that game with over 390 yards and 4 touchdowns. Unfortunately, he sprained his MCL earlier in that game, and he would have to miss some time. He worked hard to rehab and ended up winning the starting job for the last 3 games of the season. It was an up and down season, but Dart played really well and built strong friendships and connections within the program. He wanted to stay with the Trojans, but another curveball came his way. USC hired Lincoln Riley,